Hello everyone, welcome back to Code Effectively. Today we are going to study the queue programming concept and how to develop a queue in which we will be using insertion operation, deletion and display the queue. So let's start. But before this, I would request you please go and watch the basic video of queue, and I have mentioned the description in the link of this video so that you can go and watch the previous video. So let's start. So basically we have to discuss what is a queue. We have already discussed that in queue insertion and deletion takes place, and the insertion always takes from the rear end and the deletion always take from the front end. So let's start. See, basically let's start with the basic, very basic. I should first write the pseudocode. Like we have to insert. For example, we want to insert a number. Okay, we want to insert a number. So what we will do, we will check if rear is equal size minus 1, because array is 0 index, so the indexing goes from 0 to the size minus 1. We will just display, we will give a message that it is an overflow condition. Message is overflow. Okay, so this is simple, quite obvious. Message overflow. Okay, else we will say that you can keep on entering the numbers. So let's say if the array is a, so we can say rear plus plus is equals to the num that we have taken. This is just a pseudocode, not the exact code. Okay, this is the algorithm, I would say rather. Then we are just going for the deletion operation. Let's say void delete. Okay, now I'm going for the delete operation, and the main thing I have to check if front is equal rear. I will explain what is this front and what is this rear. So we will just display, or we can say SOPLN, it is underflow. Okay, in this underflow, because you cannot delete more numbers or the more things in the queue. And then else if it is not overflow, then we can say that you can display that the deleted number is, what is a deleted number? Plus plus a at plus plus front. Okay, this is my entire pseudocode. Now you have to think how this will work. Let's take the initial values of rear and front equals to minus 1. Rear is equals to front equals to minus 1. These are the counters. You can say these are just counting. So let's start with the pseudocode. Okay, let us start. Now this is my array. Okay, now they are at minus 1. Initially they are minus 1. Okay, so here I can just write it down. Rear is equals to minus 1 and my front is equals to minus 1. Now user wants to insert an element. Okay, I said the user, come on, insert an element. Let's say number 5. Okay, so now I'm putting the indexing also for more easy way. Let's say, let's put the indexing 2 out here. Let it be indexing B. Okay, so the indexing could be, let's do it. It is 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. Okay, now user wants to insert a number. Let the user insert. So what the algorithm, how this algorithm will work? It will check if rear is equal size minus 1. Size minus 1, it indicates the size of the array, because you know if we are entering and we keep on entering until and unless our array is full. When our array is full, we will say it is overflow. No, this condition is false, because what is the size minus 1? Size minus 1 is 4. This is equals to 4. This condition will be true when it is 4. Okay, so it is false. So what we will do? A is equal a at array plus rear plus rear. What does this signify? Plus rear. So value of rear will be now 0. So 0. Okay, so a at 0 is equals to num. If the value of num we have input is 5, so we will get 5 here. Okay, and now the value of rear will be 0. Now again I want to input a number, let's say 51. Now 51 I want to input. First the computer will check if rear equal size minus 1. What is the value of rear? Rear value is 0 and size minus 1 is equals to 4. So can you imagine 0 is equal 4? This is false. So we will again go. It will go plus rear. What is the value of plus rear? It will be 1. 1. A at 1 is equals to num. What is the value of num that we want to input? That is 51. So we will input 51 here. Again the user wants to input a number, let's say 511. Okay, so now it will again check if rear. What is the value of rear now? 1. 1 is equal 4. Condition false. So it will go to the else statement. A is equals to a at plus rear. So what will be the value of rear now? Plus. So it will be 2. So 2. A at 2 equals to num. So what is our num? This. Okay, this is my quite easy simple insertion operation. Now I want to delete. I said delete the number. Now it will check first. Front equal rear. What is the value of front? Minus 1. Minus 1 is equals to 2. Condition false. So it will go SOPLN. It will say deleted element is a at plus front. So what it will delete? It will delete 5. It will delete 5. It will scrap off 5. And we will increase the value of front 2. Now the value of front is 0. Okay. Now the value of front is 0. Now again I want to say I want to delete a number. So again it will check. Front equal rear. Let's see, front is equal rear. What is the value of rear now? 2. 0 is equals to 2. Condition false. So it will delete. A add plus front. First the value of front will be increases. What is the value of 0? What is the value of front? 0. Then it will go to 1. Now it will scrap off 1. Now 1 will be deleted. Okay. In the same way, now you will check again. Okay. Now again it will check. Plus again if I say I want to delete the number. So it will check. Front value is 1. It will check. 1 is equal rear. No. So you can again delete it. First we will increase the value. Rear is equals to front is equals to 2. Then we will delete 5 1 1. Okay. Now the value again. Now see when this condition will come. This is how this condition will come into place. Again I say I want to delete a number. Front is equal rear. It will first check. Let's see. The value of front is now 2. And the value of rear is also you can see is 2. 2 is equals to 2. Yes, condition is true. And this also signifies that our stack is underflow, or sorry, the queue is underflow. Queue is underflow. You can see because all these numbers are deleted and we don't have any number to delete. So this signifies that the queue is underflow. The queue is empty. You can write anything. Okay. And now the value of front is 2. I want to enter the number. So what it will first check? I said I want to enter, let's say this time 71. I want to enter 71. I will first say if rear is equal size. No. What is the value of rear? 2. The value of rear is 2 and the size is 4. So it is obvious the condition is false. Now I will enter. First I will increase the value of rear. The value will be 3. The value will be 3 and I say enter 71. Enter 71 will be entered. Again I want to enter the number. Okay, you can go, let's say 711. It will again check. It will first increase the value of, it will first, okay, this will 3. Okay, now this will check. What is the value? Now it will first go to the rear. I am rear and here it will go. When the value of rear will be 3, it will check. 3 is equal. Size minus 1. No, 3 is not equal to 4. Now rear plus. What will the value of rear? 4. It will be 4 and 711 will be entered. Now, this is the condition now. Let's see. I want to again enter 1711. Now, the value of rear is 4. It will check. Rear is equal to size minus 1. 4 is equal to size. Condition is true. We will display the message overflow. That the stack is overflow, you cannot enter, the queue is overflow, you cannot enter any further more numbers. As you can see in the visualize also, you cannot enter because you don't have any space left to enter. So this is how your front and your rear work. Okay, now your front is pointing to 2 and your rear is pointing to 4. And if you want to display, so you just have to make a short for loop, and the for loop would be like I is equals to front minus front plus 1 and till it will go to the rear. I less than equals to rear, because we will take the I from the front and take it till the rear, because we have only these numbers only to display, that is 71 and 11. So front plus 1, so it will start from 3 and it will go to 4. That's quite simple and obvious. Okay, this was the basic. Now let's try to implement in this with the program. These are the things, algorithms. I hope this is quite clear to you. Now let's try this in the BlueJ IDE. So let's start. In the BlueJ IDE, I will just first make a class, and let's say the class name is Q only for easy purpose. And in this Q class, we just have to write the program or the pseudocode. That's quite simple. The class is equals to the Q. I will just increase the size. I think now it is quite visible to you. Okay, in this, now let's say I have taken, okay, now let's start. It is quite easy. Now int a, let's take for the array, and let's take the class variable size and then front and then rear, because we are entering. Okay, after this, you can just take a constructor to initialize these values. Okay, so let's take size. Okay, int s to initialize the size of the array. This is the main thing, so we can write size is equals to s, and that's quite obvious. And then you can create the array, is a is equals to new int, and then you can write that simple, it is equals to this size. Okay, so this is size. So let's start. This is quite obvious, these are easy things. And now you can initialize next in the next line that front is equals to rear. Okay, front is equals to rear, and they both are equals to -1. Okay, this is the basic thing. Now we have to insert. What we are doing first, let's insert the numbers. So I have created a method, let's say void insert. Okay, and for saving my time, I have taken the parameter as input n. Okay, this is quite obvious. Now what you will do, you will first check if rear is equal size -1. what I will do, if the rear is equal size minus 1, I will just display a simple message that system.out.println. What I will say, it's overflow, or you can write anything that the stack queue is full. Okay, but we usually use overflow. Now what I will do, if it is not overflow, that means the queue is still empty. So we can just make sure that we can enter the element. So we will use plus plus rear, and that's quite obvious, I have already told you, and we will store the number in the array. Okay, this is quite obvious. Now let's go for the delete option. Let's say for the delete, I want to delete. Okay, now let's create the delete one. Okay, so just start. If I will check if front is equal rear, so what you will display? You will display quite obvious, that is system.out.println. You will display system.out.println that the stack is under, or the queue is underflow. Underflow, or you can write not possible, anything, but you can write underflow. That is pretty obvious that the queue is empty. Else what you will do, you will just you can just display that system.out.println that the number what you have deleted .println, and you can just write a and plus plus front, so it will display what number they have deleted. Okay, so now that's done. After this, you can display void display. You can create a void display method to display the remaining elements left in the queue. So it is also pretty obvious, you have to use the for loop. Let's take for int I is equal to, I have already told you, it will be front plus 1. Okay, front plus 1, and it will go till rear. I will run till less than equals to rear, and it will be I plus plus. And now you can just display. It will be system.out.println. If you want to be in the new number, in the new line, create it system.out.println, and then you can create it I at I. Okay, this is quite pretty obvious. These are the pretty obvious things that you are doing since class 10th. Now you have closed the void, and now this is your class bracket over. After this, we are doing nothing. We will just compile and check whether this is correct or not. Okay, here is a okay, this queue is short and I have taken, now it's correct. It's okay. Okay, so let's start. Void, oh, I forgot to enter this. Let's start. Now no class index errors. Now, okay, no errors. Now let's see what we have to do now. I will create the object first. First we have to enter the object has been created, but it is asking for the size. Let's say the size of the queue is 5. Okay, now the object is created with array and the 5 size. Now let's say I want to insert the element. It is asking me for the element. Let's say 12. So now let's see 12 is inserted or not. Okay, let's first one more time insert 11. Now let's see whether it is displayed. Now you can see 12 and 11 are displayed. It means 12 and 11 are inserted in the queue. Okay, so now let's go and delete them. How we have to delete? We have to just call the void delete function. Void delete. Now they have deleted. Let's see whether it is deleted or not. Let's go for it. Let's see it is deleted or not. Void display. I will call the display and see. You can see it is deleted. Only 11 is displaying. Only 12 is displaying. This was the previous one. Let's make this one more time. Let's again display. You can see only 11 because 12 has been deleted. Now again I want to delete. Let's say delete. Okay, so they have deleted 11 also now. Now 11 is also deleted. Now let's see. Again go for the another. Now I want to delete one more time. Let's see whether the message will be displayed or not. So you can see underflow message has been displayed. Underflow message has been displayed. Okay, now let's go again and we can enter the numbers again. Let's enter the number. Okay, now let's say entering the number. Enter the number. Let's say 1122. Now let's go for the display option. So you can see 1122 has been displayed. So this is how you have to create the queue and do the functioning of this. I hope you understand what is a queue and how you have to do. If you like this video, kindly go and subscribe to the Code Effectively channel and press the bell icon to never miss any video from us. Thank you for watching Code Effectively.